What is going on YouTube? Hitamek making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and if we have time, the S&P 500. So guys, crazy things are happening right now within XRP and some of these other major cryptocurrencies. What we've been tracking for the past couple of days actually was on the daily charts for XRP. You can see right here, and we've pretty much figured out that this major resistance level between $1.06 and maybe $1.09 is acting as the biggest resistance level for XRP. But what I didn't notice, and I actually discovered yesterday after I made a video, was by zooming in closer to the hourly as well as to the 4-hour charts, we're actually starting to discover a much bigger ascending triangle actually forming, acting as a higher low support as well as a strong resistance up here, which is crazy, and it's actually going to give us and pinpoint the time of breakout where we can expect the next movement to form within XRP. It's not just on XRP though, it's forming within Ethereum, as Ethereum has managed to break through and inside its rising wedge channel, and Bitcoin as well is forming some sort of ascending triangle as well that we have to talk about. Very exciting, big things are coming for these cryptocurrencies. It's literally just a matter of time before we see the next rally and the next breakout in the next movement within cryptos, as we have been capitalizing off these runs specifically within Bitcoin and now within Ethereum, since it has closed above its top resistance. Very exciting here. Otherwise, guys, definitely make sure to partake in the crypto coin display giveaway. All you have to do to win one of these bad boys is comment your favorite cryptocurrency down below, as well as comment subscribed, and I will be checking, and if you're not subscribed, you will not win one of these giveaways. Drawing is Sunday, so stay tuned. Also, guys, really quick, I do want to give a huge shout out to rwood for sponsoring today's episode. For those that haven't heard of rwood, they are a new NFT project which I highly recommend you check out. Basically, what you're doing is by purchasing or investing in their NFTs, you're actually becoming part of a shareholder of the entire company, which is really cool and a very innovative idea. So for more information about that, stick around to the end of today's episode where we'll be talking more about rwood. Otherwise, definitely make sure to turn on post notifications, smash the like button, and let's jump into today's episode. All right, guys, as you can see, top 10 cryptocurrencies, overall market, we're at $2.33 trillion. We've literally gained about $0.4 trillion over the past week and a half. It's pretty incredible. But top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is pretty much just consolidating right now. You can see for the most part, nothing is really pumping to the upside or correcting to the downside. So things aren't looking too bad in any direction. I'm actually getting very excited. I do plan on purchasing a Bitcoin mining rig very soon. I just wanted to update you guys on that. It'll be very cool, as I'm first trying to get myself invested into cryptocurrency or into cryptocurrency mining, and I do want to talk to you guys about the potentials of Bitcoin mining. I feel like most people are very afraid to get into it because it's a difficult thing to start. Well, this company that I found, which hopefully will come into place about next month, will make that process much easier, and we'll have a lot of information and content to make about that. And ideally, you could make a lot of profit at a much more conservative level than you would with trading, or to have both now, a conservative amount of trading as well as a more aggressive style of trading, just adds to your portfolio. So I'm very excited. It's very cool, and just get ready for that when that comes. So very exciting for that. Now, more importantly, diving back into the technical analysis. So really what I wanted to show you guys here was looking at the 4-hour. As I mentioned in the beginning of today's video, we've been noticing for the most part on the daily charts, which we're not on right now, but you can see for the most part, we've been in this massive symmetrical triangle. I mean, XRP is playing this triangle out very well. Ideally, you can see for the most part that we have the starting point of here, the correction of point A, we have A to B. We were looking for B to C. Ideally, I was anticipating a rally from B here all the way down to C, and we didn't. We actually managed to correct here, stop at bottom support, wherever that is. I think there is one right here, obviously. And then we started to correct higher, which is very ironic. And we've currently got, we're starting to retest this $1.09 resistance level. And if we don't break through it, we'll probably break back down to point C ideally, and then come up for D to E, and then break bullish at the end of this. But ideally, I do want to just zoom in here and get a better look at things, and I do just want to draw this bottom support that XRP seemed to have bounced right off of. Here we go. Let's draw this horizontal line really quickly. You can see that was right around this level. Yes, okay, great. So you can see right now what the problem is. We're actually retesting this top resistance, not actually breaking through it. But what I noticed is, when I zoomed in here, I started to see a much smaller ascending triangle that you don't actually get to see when you dive into the daily here. When you take a bigger look, it's definitely a lot harder to point this out. There's a clear double bottom. I mean, I don't know how much clearer this can be, but there's a clear double bottom here that reversed us up. So finding this double bottom support off this bottom support level managed to swing us up higher. Now we're currently retesting the top resistance level, or retesting what could have been a neckline, or basically the starting point of this level here, and we're having trouble breaking through that. Granted, you can see in the past how we've had problems with this zone before. We've had numerous days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days prior to just trend inside of here before we actually broke through it. And you could see even earlier than that, it was acting as a big support level on the coin earlier. So it's been a consistent problem within XRP, and we're now finally just entering it today or yesterday. But you'll notice you don't really get to see this uptrend that's forming here. You just ultimately see a ton of uncertainty within XRP's price. But when you zoom in on the 4-hour charts here, you get a better look at things. You can kind of see, oh wow, we are actually creating higher lows. We're actually starting to form these lower high, or these higher lows that are consistently entering us into what could be the apex here. You could see the original movements. They eventually start to slow down, but each one has a higher bottom than the last one every single time consistently. And at the end of this, it brings us and wraps us into this little apex right here, which comes to end, I would say, if I really wanted to extend this out, like the last bare bottom level is October 9th. Like this is the point, like the last possible level right here is October 9th, which is literally just tomorrow. That's not much time left. And very similarly, usually within these, ascending triangles, they don't break out right at that last possible level. I don't think we are going to break out at that last possible level. We'll probably break out sometime today, ideally, and that's what we're looking for. You can also see the waves of movement that we've had here since the mouth of the opening. This big opening here, you'll notice the swings in volume have been much bigger. And then once we've been sandwiched into here using this top resistance as a means, the price ceiling, and we've been using this bottom support here, we've slowed down the movements within the candles. Price range have pretty much been constricted, and we're not seeing that movement. Now, ideally, what we can do to see where exactly and how big of a jump we're going to be moving to is obviously a 22% jump. This is huge. We put this to the mouth of the opening from point of breakout. This could easily swing us up to levels, obviously at an 18.41. No, actually, we're going to take the percentage leap. Hold on, let's do that again. I think it's very similar, ideally. This is 22%. This is 18, so maybe, we'll leave it at $1.29. That's pretty much this resistance level. $1.29, that's back, exactly where our top resistance is. $1.29 to $1.30 is about our problem zone for this crypto. As you guys remember, a couple of months ago, or a couple of weeks ago, we were talking that this is a major resistance level for XRP, and we'll have a big difficulty breaking through this. If we do, it's pretty much up to potential all-time highs for 2021 within XRP. But this is definitely good, because if we do break through this, it should allow us to swing to the upside here in some pretty aggressive amount of volume. You can see volume's also dying off completely, so this should allow us to see that pop that we're looking for. Obviously, we correct lower. We're going to be pulling back down at bottom support here at 88 cents. So this is really what we're looking for. It's either going to be a break. Oops, not what I wanted to do. We're either going to see a break through this top resistance up to $1.30, or we're going to see a break to the downside down to bottom support at about 89 cents. It's either or. It's literally that easy to tell. You can see we're trapped inside this. We're intertwined inside the sideways channel here, and we're either going to be bullish or bearish of a pretty decent size, about a 20% reversal or pump to the upside here. And honestly, what we're looking for right now is when to confirm the breakout. And you can see right now, if we zoom in, I should hopefully be able to clarify what exactly we're looking for. So you can see in the past, it's definitely more difficult. In the past, we actually have confirmed breaching above this resistance. You can see we've closed above it, and we've come back down inside of it. We've broken above it before, and we come back down inside. So it's definitely more difficult. Ideally, it does act as a support. There's also, resistances up here. There's definitely resistances up here. You can see kind of how this channel works here. So yes, we are getting sandwiched here. I would buy in and leverage it, but I'd put a stop loss back down at $1.09, because ideally we are going to see a big challenge this next resistance level at about $1.13. But above that, it's like a straight run right up to $1.30. There's really not much in its way here. So if we can break through this resistance, we should be able to swing up, retest $1.12, and then attempt to retest $1.30. So ideally, if we can close, you can say the 4 hour, you can play at the 4 hour. Let's check out the daily here. The daily, for the most part, yeah, this is another resistance capped at top here too. You can wait for the daily. It's not as important right now. The daily could close above there, but ideally looking at the 4 hour charts, we're trying to wait for resistance on the 4 hour. So if we can close a 4 hour candle above this resistance here, I would then buy in long and leverage it at least from $1.09 up to $1.12 to 13 cents, because that would be a pretty small run, but at least we can set a stop loss here and potentially swinging up to, capitalize on our profits, and vice versa. If we started to swing to the downside here, we break through $1.06. That's when we enter a short and start to trade it to the downside here, because that's pretty much where the point of breakout is to the downside. You can see right here, we can adjust it, slightly tweak it, but that's pretty much where it lands. It's about right there. So maybe $1.05. Yeah, $1.05. You can kind of see what exactly we're dealing with here. That small but sure ascending triangle. So now moving on, you can also see this forming within other cryptocurrencies, which we do have to point out. You can see within Ethereum, we've actually managed to break through its top resistance, popping right through 34.87 and starting to close above here. We saw confirmation closure and we started to buy in. So you guys can see we actually bought in about 2 days ago into Ethereum. Reason being is because 4 days ago when we closed right at this top resistance, we didn't buy in just yet. It was right at that point here. We actually saw tons of uncertainty within its candle the following day. We reversed all the way back down, but once we closed above with big confidence of closing above here at 34 or 35.72, we then bought in, and now we've been rising up to about 36.17, and you can see it's a slow but steady movement to the upside. We've also noticed that there is a resistance level that is capping this price here. You can see it pretty much comes down to this level right here. You can see where it's been a problem zone before, and it's currently acting as a resistance right now. When zooming into the 4 hour, you can get a better overview of what exactly is happening. You can see how in the past we've used this level as a problem zone, resistance, breaking bearish, not only sideways channel, but the top resistance level, and we're currently getting sandwiched in this too. It's clear as day. When zooming in even further into this, you can see on the hourly now that it's acting as a much bigger resistance level. So ideally what we're waiting for on Ethereum is obviously a confirmation pop above this resistance. So ideally what we're waiting for is closure above resistance at about, I would say, probably closer to 36.70. We have to give it a little more resistance above these problem zones before. We've had wicks before, but I don't want to buy in and immediately get rejected. So closer to maybe $3,700. We close above 3,700. We can buy in and leverage to the upside. But otherwise, looking at Bitcoin, you can see on the 4 hours for Bitcoin, another very similar pattern here to wrap up today's video. I actually want to jump over to the hourly. You can see that we had another wedge forming here, which is now breaking bullish. This is extremely important. Notice earlier we had a sideways symmetrical pennant flag or bull flag forming here that we broke bullish from, shot up. We now have another pennant flag, bull flag forming here, which we're now starting to break currently. There's also a top resistance capped at about 55K, which we've also broken with a small uptrend here that we've been using, which is ironic. We've been using this as a means of creating higher lows, and then we broke through it just this morning. And you can also see we've had a pennant flag forming very similar to before, which we now broke up from. So ideally, how big of a run is that going to be? Up from the current breakout, I'd say right about here, it's about a 7.7% run. And you can see if we scale this once again from the point of breakout, it should send us probably closer to $59,000. Honestly, let's move it a little bit lower. This is a small one from the run, but the original, so between 59,000 and if we start it from this one right here up to the top resistance. So we have 59,000 to about a 16% run, which seems a little more accurate here. 59,000 to about 62,900, 63,000. So 59 to 63 would be that next run and that next resistance to the upside here. Very close to retesting its prior resistance level, which we can jump out to on the 4 hour, get a better look. It's going to send us pretty much back up to potentially all-time highs. That's what you guys have to realize. It'll be a double top on all-time highs, and we'll see what exactly happens there, because that's pretty much the next run after we clear through for $54,000 or $55,000. There's not much resistance to that next level here. There's a small one at about 59,000. But once we break through that, and once we break through 60K, 59, 56K, it's just shooting up to the upside. Otherwise, guys, I do want to talk about Sherwood. I want to give a huge shout out to Sherwood for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, Sherwood is a unique collection of 10,000 outlaw squirrels as digital collectibles based on the Ethereum blockchain and based on retelling of the Robin Hood story as a fascinating tech thriller set in crypto age England. They are not only a beautiful piece of art with an engaging backstory, but by owning them, you will actually be investing into the company itself. Now guys, this NFT project is their seed funding. Thus, their outlaw squirrel is your entry ticket to it and into the Sherwood Forest, where Robin, a young female software developer, hides from her pursuers protected by the eager squirrels. Now, according to their roadmap, they are releasing a collection of 10,000 unique outlaw squirrels as collectible digital artworks and offering them to the community at various stages. So they want to develop the application that Robin's story talks about, which is so secret that she has to develop it in the shadows. An app that provides unprecedented market transparency to all investors from small to large. What's cool is they are not just talking about the stock market, but combining insights from crypto and NFTs. And your investment in their NFTs allows them to complete the application that is already in development. So guys, what exactly does the software do? Simply put, today's investors increasingly face the problems of keeping track of all their investments, stocks, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, real estate, 401k, and other investments that are spread across different platforms, banks, and even fintech. But for active traders and investors, keeping track of all the different types of investments is a real pain in the butt. Additionally, there is no convenient way to compare different investments yet. So guys, today, comparing specific stocks with cryptocurrencies and NFTs requires custom spreadsheets, which equates to time. And that's what Sherwood Analytics wants to change. And yes, anyone who knows this issue will confirm there is a real need for an efficient one-stop solution that tracks all types of investments and provides sophisticated analysis for each. Sherwood Analytics is basically the Google Analytics for assets. To date, no other software offers such comprehensive analysis across all asset types and assets as Sherwood Analytics promises to do. So now, how does a real-life company, Sherwood Analytics, relate to its NFT collection and its holders? Now, for their NFT seed funding launch, they wanted to achieve the following objectives, which was raise funds, incorporate the community of future users in the development process, build a board of advisors, and give people opportunities. So they discussed raising funds a few different ways, and the NFT seed funding round will be layered in various payouts from the NFT fund for specific milestones. For example, only 30% of all raised funds are available for them to use right away, and the next 30% are depending on finishing the MVP. There's also a lot more detail that they will share shortly, but the idea is to keep them accountable to their NFT shareholders. They also think that they have a fairly good idea here, but they want to actually interact with people who will be their customers. They want to ask honest questions with honest feedback. Would you pay for this particular feature? And if the answer is no, then they really need to improve. And their NFT holders are supposed to be the first front of feedback for any type of features and overall development. And this goes beyond funding. They want Sherwood to be a from the community for the community type of project. They also care about having different opinions available, and they want to hear people's opinions who usually are not asked. So if someone has never bought an NFT at all, and if this is his first time, they want to hear that perspective too. Equally, they care about someone who has been involved in the stock market for decades. They want to provide their users the tools to become financially successful, so they should be the ones providing feedback. And since they are owning part of the company, they are doing it out of self-interest, either way, as a user or as an investor. So a board of advisors should have people that can provide insights. For such a product as they develop, there is no single point of view, and by using NFTs to build a board of advisors, they think they can achieve diversity in a natural way. And as you know, a lot of people are new to the NFT field, and they want to help with that. So some people I know are not interested in NFTs because of the lack of intrinsic value. And with the Sherwood NFT, it is a different story because the intrinsic value is becoming a shareholder of the company. So it is their hope to bring people on board that don't like NFTs, but they are on board due to the shareholder part. Otherwise, guys, huge shout out to Sherwood for sponsoring today's episode. Definitely make sure to check them out if you have an interest in the description below. Make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.